Midnight.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, we interrupt the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef to actually talk about something a little bit more relevant to this podcast, and that's actually wrestling. We're going to break down Backlash. We're going to look forward to the King and Queen of the Ring with actual legit brackets this time. And oh yeah, there's another big announcement from AEW, but not from who you think. So sit back, relax, and say a little, friends, because it's Simplement, Deux, episode number 375 of Kings of the Rings podcast, exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now.
This song bops, dude.
Oh, it's a bad day for Canada these days, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it's bad when the Brooklyn Brawler has more of a career than Drake right now. Welcome to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 375 of BBL Drizzy themed Simplement Deux. I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. Thank you guys for joining us live here on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. If you guys like what you're listening to, including that BBL Drizzy beat, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. The links to all of that are in the description below. We had to hop on this beat, obviously, because this is the hottest thing going on right now. Something finally is hotter than wrestling, and it's a rap beat. Hip-hop is back, ladies and gentlemen, and also, who's back with me once again, still talking about his Drake and Emo album from high school, Will Tarasak. How are you?
This is my first time hearing this song, and goddamn, I am a sucker for a beat. I'm adding this to like 4 playlists. All right, this song is nanners, but I'm doing good, guys. Not only is music back, not only is hip hop back, comedy is back. Hey, I want to talk about I don't know if you've seen the roast of Tom Brady, but I hope you haven't, so we can talk about it next week. Because I haven't watched it either, but I'm so excited to watch that. Kay Murphy, love of my life. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I have fried chicken. I have drugs.
Oh, you're having a good
It's
time
the start
tonight.
of the week. Yeah, I am about 10 minutes from taking my bedtime edible. I have listened to BBL Drizzy at least 200 times.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Because the only media I've consumed the last couple days is Drake and Kendrick and almost nothing else.
Yeah. No, it is perfect.
Yeah, what protests? There's a rap beef.
There's a rap beef going on. Jesus freaking Christ. France is even highlighted more right now than Canada. Like, Canada's big brother, kind of, sort of. France had a good freaking week. Drake did not have a good freaking week. And that was to be expected. Let's get back to the wrestling and stuff. It's going to be probably a quicker show this week. We got a lot of interesting, fun stuff to talk about. There's a lot of big announcements going on this weekend during a horse race of all things. The biggest of all the announcements being this right here. We finally have the location of WrestleMania, and we're going to swing for the fences. It's going to be in Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is it going to be in Las Vegas, it's April 19th and 20th of 2025. That is going to be a couple of weeks, than what it usually has been. So it will not compete against the NCAA Final Four. It will not compete against both NCAA Final Fours. It will not compete against the opening of Major League Baseball. It's going to stand alone on its own for one weekend. And if you think WrestleMania did numbers this year, wait when you see when they don't have to compete with anybody. Okay, it's going to be from Allegiant Stadium. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to use a Sphere. They have not released if they're going to use a Sphere or not. Probably T-Mobile Arena, MGM Arena as well will probably also be in play. WWE World hopefully will be a little bit more organized in the Las Vegas Convention Center, Will's second home. The most interesting thing about this is that we talked about it last week. April 20th, WrestleMania Sunday, 420, is also Easter. It is going to be the high holiest of days in the history of wrestling. Will Tash?
I love how we're not considering Easter competition. Like there is not a goddamn thing.
Listen.
WWE has
Vince
to compete
McMahon
with.
already beat the Lord in a wrestling match. Okay.
True, and in court
He's
a few
been
times.
buried. The Lord has been buried.
Like, oh
in
no,
wrestling.
I'm gonna miss Easter dinner.
No.
No.
I miss Easter dinner if there's not WrestleMania.
Yeah, right. So, what did I do for this year for Easter? I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I worked.
Like, it was like a week ago, dude. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was bad. But kayfabe, what are your thoughts on the highest WrestleMania of all time?
I think this is dangerous. This is incredible. You're telling me they're putting WrestleMania on 420 in a legal state.
Yes, it's legal.
Yeah.
Marijuana is legal.
I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. I need to
the betting, the gambling, dude. I might just go to gamble with the money I spent on tickets and just triple my money.
Nah, fuck the gambling for me. I need to acquire pet care and I'm getting on a fucking plane.
You don't understand, Kay. You'll be able to bet on WrestleMania. That's gonna be like the easiest bet ever.
You would think.
Okay.
You would think.
Yeah. Gambling is not my jam. Like, I have zero interest. Like, I remember when I like turned 18, my like one friend wanted to go to the casino and I'm like, no, that sounds lame. And then when I went on a cruise a couple years ago and there was a casino and I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, not my vibe.
I mean, I agree with you for like poker and roulette and slots and regular gambling, but betting on a fake sport, that's a whole nother level of let's fucking go.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably win a lot of good money. I'm going to be interested to see how that's going to work out at all, like those betting places around Vegas and whatnot. And Frets, you better come. This is what WrestleMania 41 is right before your birthday. Come to Vegas, Frets.
Yeah, come on, Frets, do it. We're gonna bring it to the
Could you imagine if we finally got like a full Wrestle Addict Radio Mania in attendance?
Well, I know Mr. YLP has been waiting for Vegas Mania to show up. I don't know why. He's never actually told me, but he also lives in Colorado, so he is all in on Vegas.
I bet he also loves gambling.
I know. Our former assistant GM Mance Chapa has already vocalized to myself and kayfabe that he is looking into it as well. So I know Balor Club guy. Smiley is going to Mania in Vegas. I know that for a fact.
Damn it, Ricky! You're really trying to convince me, aren't you?
Listen, it's called. The only reason I can convince you is that my parents have a timeshare.
That's gonna help. Yeah, I am gonna stick with maybe until you text me and tell me the prices. And it's gonna be a game time decision from there. I'm gonna close my phone, open my TD Bank app, look at the number, and make a decision on the spot.
I'm gonna be like sitting next to you and like write it on a napkin and just hand it over.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right then.
What do you think of this?
It's like price of tickets, price of hotel, price of flights. I'm gonna tell you on the spot if I can go.
Yeah,
because the hotel is gonna be the most expensive part.
Yeah,
the second most expensive part is gonna be the flights.
Yeah, if I can circumvent the hotel and talk to my parents about this timeshare thing and see if I can work some magic, that might help a fair amount of us.
Even if like we can't get the timeshare, like if we all go in on an Airbnb,
that's
like
true.
Especially like I plan on bringing Liv, like that's 2 people instead of 1.
Yeah,
paying
so
money.
There'll be 4 of us
at least. Charles might be in N2 as well, so that'd be great. Yeah, and
we just have to, like I said, we just got to figure out who's gonna watch Boris and who can come over to like feed Frank.
That's true. You do have 2 pets. I forget about Frank.
Yeah,
Frank got replaced.
Frank didn't get replaced. Frank is just a lot less high maintenance.
I bet they have a Woody and Buzz relationship when you're not watching.
Honestly, like they can't be. Frank can't come out of his tank as much as he used to because Boris
Boris bullies
will eat him.
Yeah. Boris is very like he gets defensive when Frank is like cuddling with me. Meanwhile, I was Frank's mom like way before I was Boris's mom. But Boris is like, "What the fuck is your problem? Why are you cuddling my mom? I want to cuddle my mom."
Oh, Boris, yes, yeah, we got to find something for Boris so you can get to WrestleMania Vegas. I wasn't when we talked about this last week. I was like, I would rather do Minnesota, but like I have not been to Vegas as a full-fledged functioning adult, so I'm also interested in returning to Vegas as an adult and doing adult things. Although the kid stuff was great, but adult stuff.
What did you do in Vegas as a kid?
The New York Hotel has a functioning roller coaster around the entire thing.
That's pretty.
Oh, that's right.
You know, we went to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in Vegas.
You can do that in New York, Ricky.
I know, but
the
only time I've gone to it was in Vegas.
Dude, they have the one in New York has the wax statue of The Rock, and it's been out there for a year and a half every single day. And every single day I walk by, there's a fucking line of people taking pictures.
It's crazy. I've never seen the Rock statue not getting like crazy attention.
Yeah. I mean, it's The Rock. You know what I mean? It looks just like him. It looks a really good wax statue.
Also, what else is there to do as a kid? They have the pirate show at Treasure Island. As well.
I would go to that.
The Sphere would be good with a kid if it's the right show.
If it's the right show. I'm really interested to see if they do SmackDown, Raw, or NXT in the Sphere.
I will
I don't know how they would do it.
Neither do I.
Like what would be on the screens? You know what I mean? Like it's good for like a concert because you can put visuals up there.
Yeah.
What would you put up there?
I don't know.
It's like Hulk Hogan's like pecs,
just
pythons
flexing all over the place.
Right? Like
it'd probably be dope for entrances.
The Fireflies would be dope for entrances. The Fireflies?
Yeah, that would be
for Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I also feel like if they did more of the Titantron entrances like they did when we were younger, like in the 2000s, like with the crazy video packages showing pretty much everyone's greatest hits, I feel like it would hit really hard in like a venue like the Sphere.
Joe Hendry's face on the Sphere.
Obviously.
The only thing to knock Joe Hendry off of a charge is BBL jersey at this point. That's the greatness about this. Exactly.
That's what Will said to me yesterday when I asked him to put BBL jersey on the show.
Joe
at least Joe Hendry's not stuck in your head anymore.
Yes, at least Joe Hendry's not stuck in your head anymore.
But joke's on y'all, it's still our alarm.
Listen, Joe Hendry and Top Dollar are doing great work in TNA. I'm not gonna lie.
In Tokyo, in Mexico, it's a bopper. It's a good song.
Dory, it's been a while since I don't think you've ever actually been on our show or like commenting. So welcome, Dory. I have no idea if Selena's statue is in Vegas. I can find out for you and message you, and see if that is a factor. I don't know if you guys remember Dory. Dory was at she was at our tailgate for Evolution. She's a friend of Issa, actually. So hi, Dory. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thank you for joining in. We're going to fun stuff. So, yeah, I'm interested. I might bring my CBD gummies for 420 in WrestleMania. That'd be great if we were able to go. So, WrestleMania, start planning. It is literally they did this we are less than a year away from Mania, as per this announcement. So, I'm assuming tickets are probably going to go on sale August again.
Yeah, it's like they do. It's like every other Big Four, right?
So no, like they switched it up now because Mania used to be November.
Right. It was like whatever Big Four is coming up, tickets are on sale for the next one.
It was around Survivor Series, but now we're bumping it up to around SummerSlam.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very glad I have an August birthday. Just saying.
There was like, you know what? This is a good end to Q2 or Q3.
Yeah.
Yeah, Q3. It was the way to jack up Q3 earnings.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with it. So, WrestleMania, the big WWE announcement done at the Kentucky Derby where Seth Rollins may have cut his hair, by the way, but we'll talk about that at another time.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't think he cut it. I think it's just up.
You better hope.
I hope so. It did look like a cut, though.
Seth has an undercut, so he probably had to stick it back.
All around?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's all around.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have just the sides.
Okay.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. All right, let's move along to this. All right, so AEW Dynamite, surprise, surprise, there's a big announcement going on Wednesday night, and it's not from Tony Khan. It is actually from the EVP, or one of them, Kenny Omega. He's going to have an important announcement. Now, for all of you guys who watch AEW, which is none of us here, really, Kenny Omega was a...
You know what's really funny?
What?
I worked today, and I'm like, I should watch AEW while I work. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
So anyway, here's what I have, discovered. It's TK's comments really made me sour on AEW for a minute now, but The Elite, the new Elite, which is the Bucks, Jack Perry, and Kazuchika Okada, are trying to essentially take over. They've already pile drived Tony Khan so hard. The fact that he said one of the weirdest things ever on the NFL Network. They recently
I almost forgot about that.
There's been so much random news going on ever since that. They have recently taken out Kenny Omega in his hometown in Canada, as well as FTR, who came for the save. So Kenny Omega is now going to say that he's probably partnered with Drake for his own diss track, which will be a massive, massive mistake. But for all intents and purposes, Will Terrasuk, what do you believe is Kenny Omega's big announcement?
Right, I got to backtrack for a second because I'm really confused. So the Young Bucks,
yes,
who are already EVPs,
that's correct,
are trying to take over something they already are in control
Well, they
of.
already took out Tony Khan, so yes, I guess it's more of a full functioning takeover.
But yeah, you already took over. It's your company. What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't write the stories.
Like there's Triple H doesn't Triple H was already in charge. He was already part of the leadership team. He doesn't take over. Like the proper word is replace. I am replacing Tony Khan. I am not taking over something I'm already in control of.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think Kenny Omega's announcement is semantics, guys. We gotta get down to semantics. Semantics matter.
Kayfabe, what is Kenny Omega's big announcement?
Or his in-ring return. His date for his in-ring return.
No, it's not that. Kenny Omega's obviously announcing that they have more footage of the CM Punk fight at All In.
Nice. Bravo, Kayfabe, bravo, Kayfabe. That beats Mr. Fretz as a sequel to Fight Forever, but only for Nintendo 64, which is also a good one.
Mr. Fretz, I don't know if you know this, but Nintendo announced that they're doing their like Nintendo Direct in June, and they also mentioned they're not announcing it at Nintendo Direct, but they're announcing the successor to the Switch this year.
The Switch 2? I didn't hear that.
I saw it today.
I know Xbox is doing a Direct too in early June. But
God, I think it would be so funny if Kenny Omega came out in Drew McIntyre's shirt with the CM Punk grade.
He might. There's no telling what early on 2020. There's no telling what Kenny Omega or what he might do. Hopefully, it's his in-ring return. He hasn't been around for a while, and AEW kind of needs Kenny. It's kind of one of the things that they're missing. They don't need any more Jericho. That's for a fact. Jericho can. Oof, he's
I have a question, actually. This is, I guess, more so for everyone in the comments, since we're all uneducated at this point. But are any of the pillars not injured anymore? Or are they all still out? Because last I saw,
no one still there.
Jack Perry.
No one was wrestling.
Yeah, Jack Perry.
Sammy.
Sammy's stuff. MJF has.
I thought he was injured.
MJF hasn't returned. I think Sammy's injured, and Britt Baker is non-existent.
MJF had surgery. Apparently.
Yeah, MJF is the only one that I'm like aware of because I genuinely care, and I know I will watch AEW when he comes back.
I don't know the last person.
Whatever happened to the bidding war of 24? Like we're almost halfway through 24.
I mean, MJF hasn't shown up at all in 24.
He's got no buzz.
No.
Could you imagine if he just quit wrestling?
It was just a silent quit. It's just a silent.
Honestly,
he would have Gen Zer.
Honestly, though, I would love to see him go on Broadway.
Stop.
No, I'm dead serious.
I think he'd be incredible.
Would do it. He would be great.
Streets.
He quietly resigned.
Resigned.
I heard that too.
I mean, he might have quietly
resigned.
Not resigned. Resigned.
Don't get my hopes up like that, man.
Yeah, no,
come on.
No, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I don't.
No, I think if he would have shown up by now.
I think MJF would have shown up by now. But if he had surgery, there's still a possibility that it's just a delayed appearance. But then again,
we'll wait and see.
Then again, it's not like WWE needs him right now when you think about it.
Oh, wait. He might come back at Forbidden Door because it's going to be on Long Island.
Oh, son of a biscuit. Also during Pride Day, too.
Yo, I'm going to say it
also,
a million more times. That's fucking homophobic.
Why would you quietly resign? Like, if you signed the biggest free agent out there, like Tony Khan's huge announcement, like, yeah, we got MJF 10 years. Yeah. All you can fuck off now. Right? Like, why wouldn't you make this huge news? Because that's the kind of thing AEW needs right now. So
Because
quietly resign this doesn't make sense to me. I don't believe that.
I think it makes sense because it'll get people to watch the product because no one's fucking watching it.
But the problem,
And
yeah,
also,
I think announcing he resigned will make people want to watch the product.
I disagree. I feel like that keeping it quiet and then him coming back at, say, Forbidden Doors. So he's going to come back at like a pay-per-view is my personal opinion. I think he's going to show up at a pay-per-view and then it might drum up interest. But Tony Khan, like historically, he's doing what Vince did. He's just hoarding every free agent the WWE didn't sign. Like, it's no better at AEW than it is at WWE. And I know I drank the AEW Kool-Aid forever.
Yeah, you did.
But like, I know I
we all
really did.
Well, Ricky never did, but I did too.
I saw.
No,
saw
Ricky
it a mile away.
did.
I did. I was big in AEW. I thought it was awesome.
It was so much fun, and I will say I still like going to AEW events.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go to Grand Slam and shit, even if I don't watch week to week. But like, they had something really fucking cool, and I feel like Tony Khan ruined it. So I feel like Max is kind of one of his only hopes to kind of fix it.
It might be. You know, the thing with MJF is that there was a window where he was the hottest guy of a will he or won't he thing. And now it's gone, and the wrestling world has moved on without him. So to Will's argument, like, it would almost be beneficial to AEW to be like, hey, MJF signed and he's gonna come back just to create a stir, because there's nothing like CM Punk's eating them alive week after week, and he's injured.
Yeah,
you know, he's injured. Like, you need somebody to come in, like, and it's a shame that this is all happening when you have Swerve, who should be more of a highlight, but we're talking about the Elite and freaking the Bucks and all of that and everything. Mercedes has rarely wrestled on AEW yet. Like,
she's been getting shit on.
She's
the
not
internet.
doing anything. She's not.
Yeah, that's it.
Has she wrestled?
No.
They're like, wow, Mercedes can't cut a promo, and I'm like, yeah, well,
it's like she's not doing anything. I think she's gonna wrestle Willow at Double or Nothing.
Cool.
Oh, that's
for
fun.
the TBS Championship, which seems like a misstep in my opinion. You're
the CEO
of the mid card title. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot that AEW I think can fix, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what Kenny has to say. I don't know what it is. Who knows? But we'll find out next week. Anywho, moving on to one of the craziest scenes in the history of modern Backlash PLAs. Like, remember when we thought Puerto Rico was one of the craziest things we have ever witnessed? France might have actually won something for once.
Remember what I said last week about the French crowd? I was like, yeah, it's going to be, it's France. And then they didn't. They was like, you know what, Will? Fuck you. We're not going to shut up for the entire show.
It was great.
The building was shaking. It was shaking.
People on their iPhone started getting noise warnings because it was about to broach like 100 decibels in that arena.
And there was only 11,000 people there. Like, it wasn't even a typical American arena size.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Actually, okay, so they were saying that Backlash has the highest gate of all time at 11,000 people, but like, didn't they say that Mania had the highest gate of all time?
It's the highest arena gate in all time.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania is a
stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was just like, this is weird.
It's the highest arena gate of all time. When the highest arena gate of all time was in Philly, like when we were there.
I was like, God damn!
No,
what's
I
the
know.
inflation over in
that was my first question too. I was like, how bad is it over there?
Right? Like, is this in franc dollars and they're pretending it's in euros and they're just pretending it's American? Like,
I don't know.
I also thought that I like misunderstood commentary because I watched Backlash while I was working.
Yeah.
I since have done a rewatch like without work, but I only heard the 11,000 bit during commentary, and I'm like, maybe I misheard and it's like 11,000.
No, it's 11,000
because they were fucking.
No, it's 11,000.
Loud motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's like just under 12.
Yeah,
they made Brooklyn seem quiet.
The acoustics in that arena are probably fantastic. That's what I'm assuming. Those acoustics are fantastic. Simplement, the name of our show this week, literally only means I do have a French translator on retainer, quote unquote. It just means simply two.
Supplemundo. Apparently that's
soccer blue.
It's something the French commentary.
It was
says.
un deux simplement deux. So only two is what they kept on chanting. AJ Styles. You want to hear what AJ Styles' chant was?
Please.
So they were saying, "Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is phenomenal." La 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 la. That's what they were chanting.
I loved it.
Hi, Sir Charles.
Dude, they're almost too good. Like it got to the point where it's like, guys,
do you know
I need to come down. I'm just watching it.
You know how bad it is? They know all the words to Randy Orton's song. They know all the words to Cody Rhodes' song, and they speak French. Okay, yeah. I can't get past the first verse of Cody Rhodes' song, and I can barely do that.
I can barely get past Adrenaline.
I'm like, we are poor fans in comparison. We are absolutely poor fans.
And I felt embarrassed for not thinking of the Jey Uso entrance with the phones.
I feel bad about that too, yeah.
I was like, wow.
Why didn't we ever do that?
Like that one guy who just put his phone up and I was like, that's a great idea.
Yes,
wow.
Let's go.
And then they all did it. That guy is a wrestling hero and he needs a key to some city somewhere.
It is great. They're already talking about coming back because apparently, I don't know if anybody watched the press conference. We should talk about real quick.
I did.
All right, so we can talk about it, okay. They're building a 60,000 seat stadium in that same town, in Lyon.
Leon?
Oh, they're coming back.
Yeah, Triple H was like, Triple H said halfway through the show, Nick contacted them and said, stadium? So...
Yo, give me a French.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, man. Making money in the bank. SummerSlam. Who gives a fuck?
Listen, it was a great time. It was my afternoon. It was a beautiful way to spend my afternoon. I had a little wine because we were in France. You know, I had a good time.
I watched it Sunday morning, but yeah, they got a throwaway pay-per-view where we all went 5 for 5, and they were like, "This is a second coming of Jesus Christ wrestling Satan himself." With Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest ref.
Yeah.
I will say my main takeaway from Backlash is just how ungrateful American wrestling fans are.
Yeah.
No, we're spoiled.
Yeah.
We're so spoiled, but I especially I feel like I brag about living in Queens all the time, but especially as a wrestling fan, I'm I'm fucking lucky. I can get to MSG in 20 minutes. I can get to Arthur Ashe in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I can get to UBS really quickly. I'm near Laboom. I'm in proximity to so much. I'm so close.
Oh.
I'm in proximity to so much wrestling and just things in general. And I'm so lucky and I'm so grateful for it. But I've noticed I started going to wrestling shows in 2017 and 2016. And I remember I was balls to the walls, all out. And as I've gotten older, I'm less like that at shows. I'm more chill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not crying all the time. I'm not really.
I miss those days.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Somewhere along the way, I became too cool, and I'm I like fucking wrestling. I need to get over myself.
Yeah. It's.
I was so happy for the French people who might never have had that opportunity before. I'm sure that was a lot of people's first wrestling show ever.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a WWE for sure. Yeah, a professional wrestling. Yeah, maybe TNA or maybe a house show they would tour.
They always do house shows. This is the first televised event in the country of France.
TNA would probably stop by over there, but yeah, this is definitely a lot of them definitely their first show.
Yeah,
and they made it count.
They fucking brought it, dude. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It was a little too annoying. It was guys, you gotta simmer down.
No, I loved every moment of it. It was fantastic.
They make me want to be more annoying.
It brought a World Cup feel to it. It really did.
Michael Cole and Corey Graves were how can I work in these conditions?
They're just there's nothing for us to do. They're doing it for us, you know.
They were. I mean, Michael Cole always said, this is the easiest job I've ever had. he's like, I get paid to do this. I'm don't fucking remind me.
And they had
it's cool for everyone that wrestled too, because Imagine walking out and hearing people going that fucking crazy for you.
Yeah, Kevin Owens
Randy
just
Orton hasn't got.
Kevin Owens just stood there.
Randy Orton hasn't got a pop of that forever.
Why did it feel like a homecoming for Kevin Owens?
Because he's French Canadian.
I know. It's like, dude, you're Canadian. Like, I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, it was great. Jimmy Uso going through the crowd. So many. Cody's entrance, fantastic. Even AJ Styles' entrance was freaking great. And the card was freaking awesome. So let's talk about the card. We have a new member of the Bloodline, Tongaloa, formerly known as Camacho.
Yeah, I Googled him. I was like, wow, Camacho's back. Yes. Good for him.
Camacho, Tongaloa, formerly known as Camacho, has returned. This is clearly I don't know if this is clear as day to me. It is Solo and the Tongans versus Roman and the Usos. That is coming down the pipeline. Jimmy and Jay are going to reconcile. Roman's going to go with his actual family members, and they are going to war. I'm going to say Survivor Series. Bloodline Civil War.
I think it makes sense. So hear me out. Quote me later. The Rock is somehow involved as a middleman, enforcer, like judge or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And that's where he turns on Roman. And that's the sets up the Mania. That sets up the Mania match.
I like it.
That's cool.
I like it.
Because like we were always saying, like, Rock Roman doesn't need the title, and
it doesn't.
Now it doesn't. Now it definitely doesn't.
Rock Roman could main event a night 2 of Mania. In Vegas, sure. Like, Jesus Christmas.
And you got the final boss, Rock, against the Tribal Chief.
Oh, yeah. Blood in my veins. Let's do it. Let's adrenaline in my veins. Oh my God. Oh.
That literally like writes itself. Like I can see the ads for it now.
Yeah,
like,
it works out.
Final boss, the Tribal Chief. They're gonna promote it like a boxing match.
Exactly. And it being
Is Don King still alive? No. Can he come out?
No, there's no one now. Yeah, kayfabe Doria saying embrace and take advantage of all that wrestling access, because that's one thing she missed about living in New York, because Florida is deprived of that. So.
Oh God, I'm so sorry Florida is deprived, but I'm also not shocked. It's based on everyone I know from Florida says the same thing.
Yeah. So we had a crazy wild street fight of a match that they did impromptu, which was unbelievable. You then move towards Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton, which the crowd couldn't figure out who they liked more. They couldn't. They were like, we like all of them. They're all really cool. Bayley ends up
that would not have happened in America. That's for damn
No, not
sure.
At all. We'd have been so pro Tiffy. But they had the Hey Bayley chants. Bayley, they did a really good match. Tiffany had some missteps because she's young, and that's perfectly fine. But it was a good match, and it was interesting to see. This is more proof of the performers in WWE are having a lot of fun. You would have never seen Naomi hug and kiss Bayley after a match and be like, good job, congratulations. And like raise her hand. Like they are actually enjoying themselves, which is crazy to see. You move on. Jey Uso had the best entrance, but lost to Damian because of distractions from Judgment Day. But it's interesting to see that Damian Priest stopped Judgment Day from beating up Jey afterwards. And then they had a giant, they had an apology on Raw, which is kind of interesting. So kayfabe. Is Damian about to split from Judgment Day?
Honestly, I feel like it's like so coming. Like everyone's losing. I thought it was gonna happen on Raw. Like he was hugging everybody, and like Dom was on the other side. Based on how how the blocking was, it was giving you're gonna turn, but then it didn't. So I'm like, all right, so maybe another month or two. Like it's almost over.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens with that. So we had all of that. And then we had the coronation of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair just throwing small women around in a tag match.
Dude, that ending sequence with Jade tossing her, catching her, and then tossing her again.
That was one of the craziest things ever.
It was so cool.
So she caught her, flipped her up, turned her around, threw her up, caught her, slammed her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to watch it twice to make sure I saw it correctly.
Yeah, no, because she
she was thinking, oh, thank God I'm not in AEW in front of like 80 people.
Yeah, so because she caught Kyrie in a powerbomb. Kyrie tried to Rana out. Jade stopped it, brought her back up, flipped her on the back like it was going to be an electric chair. threw her above her head, caught her on her shoulders, and picked her up in pretty much a modified glam slam of her. Yeah. And for some reason, they did not give Jade the pin. Bianca did a freaking
Bianca's the bigger star,
I guess, but I felt it would be good to solidify Jade. I mean, they got their moment; it was cool.
I thought Jade was gonna have the pin too.
Yeah, still, it was a good moment.
It
was awesome.
I had thought that Jade was gonna take the pin, and because I'm wondering how long before they start. I don't know. I just have this feeling that there's gonna be some sort of jealousy, and that's why the two of them break up.
They're too good together.
Yeah, eventually.
I think they're too good together.
You gotta see how long.
That's why I'm trying to figure out. That's why I don't think it's happening yet.
People are still interested, and also, Jade is being a sponge to Bianca.
That's why she's the tag champ with Bianca. Yep.
Yeah, she's just watching her work because Jade has the physical ability. She has the presence. If on the Bret Hart scale, I don't know how she is on her promos, but this is where she learns the psychology.
Correct.
She's going to learn the ring psychology and how to carry a match, how to lead a match from Bianca.
Yeah.
As well as working with like the Kabuki Warriors because they're also veterans of the industry.
Absolutely.
So, Kay, to answer your question, as soon as Triple H has confidence that she can handle a program on her own, that's when you drop in someone else.
Like,
honestly, I hope Bianca turns.
That's what I think is going to happen too. I felt that my prediction for their story is that Jade's going to like pin everybody pretty much. And I feel like it's going to drive Bianca fucking crazy.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good story, actually.
I like it.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's going to like hit her in the back with like a kendo stick or something.
That'd be dope.
Do you think Bianca's stale?
No.
No.
The character, is the EST a little stale?
No, I think Jade and her being together as like besties is going to work out well. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
I think it had potential to go stale because she's been doing this since like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't want them touching her fucking music.
No.
That's at this point, my concern.
No.
But I think she is the EST. I feel that if she wasn't, if it were anybody else with that gimmick, I feel like it would probably get old because it might not be as relatable. But she's that bitch.
Yeah.
I think she needs a heel turn, though. I think she needs a fresh coat of paint. She needs to evolve and adapt a little bit.
Her work in the tag team, I think, will be her evolution for right now. It's going to be like a gap before she turns.
Yeah, this work like since Jay debuted. I can't fucking talk. Since Jay debuted, Bianca has not been this relevant or over since she dropped the title like a year ago.
Yeah, no, it is going to be good. Real quick, so Dory, our friend here in the chat, says she's asking us a favor.
Oh, yeah, I want to touch.
We need to sell her on Tiffany because Dory says I may be a little jaded, but she has given me a Divas era PTSD to the max. And Dory, you're correct. That's the idea. She's supposed to be like the Barbie bimbo. That you're kind of supposed to hate, but for some reason everybody really likes her because we're just marks and that's what we do.
Oh, we know.
I know why we like her.
Please.
The reason that
she is a babe, so that is why guys.
like her.
And she's also athletic as a.
She's a former Olympic gymnast. The reason that I myself like Tiffany Stratton, one, she's athletic and she's very athletically gifted. It's the fact that she is, and I'm not privy, but I favor people who just go all in on the gimmick. Tiffany Stratton has gone all in on this gimmick. If you listen to Tiffany outside of wrestling, she's actually very shy and very quiet into herself, but she has just gone all in on this vicious Barbie bitch character, holier than thou. She's the girl that everybody hates, and she shoves it in everybody's face, and she's playing into that, and she's doing a hell of a job. I like her more because she's playing her character as best as she can, and you can see she kind of believes it. On top of the fact that she's also athletically gifted in the ring at the age of, she just turned 25 like a week ago. Yeah.
On Saturday was her 25th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
And also the main difference between her and I guess the Divas era or Diva in particular, because even to a point with Trish and Lita, you see divas, you see sexy, you see sex appeal, and you see attracting a young audience.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't necessarily see anything else. Tiffany Stratton, you see all of that, but most importantly, you see money. You see the ability to do good business and to draw a house and to draw a crowd. So, and she's doing that with the idea of I'm a diva. So that's the main difference between the Divas era and Tiffany Stratton. Money. She's gonna make a lot of money for the company and for herself and the people.
She's gonna make a lot of money because yes, she is very attractive female, but she can back it up in the ring. There have been many attractive females in wrestling that couldn't hold a lick in the ring. Sable and Sunny was literally just a pretty face.
And she'll compete financially with the men too, right? To really earn that spot. Like Becky did, merch sales huge, over with literally everybody, right? Like Bailey did, like Sasha did, like Charlotte did, right? So she's just got a 2-for-1. She's got sex appeal and she has the ability.
She's a more athletic Trish Stratus.
This is also a good time to have like a Barbie kind of character in WWE.
Came in at the right time.
Because Barbie is, Barbie's so relevant. Like I know Barbie was more so the moment last summer, but I feel like it's not totally dead yet.
She'll keep that gimmick for a while.
Yeah.
So, Barbie's timeless.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a Barbie kind of persona or like aesthetic to you, but there's still nuance there that makes you like a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of Tiffany. I don't hate her or anything. I just don't care.
That's fair.
But I'm sure I'll like her in like a year or two. I'll be like, oh, she rules.
Yeah, in her short time,
because I always
in her short time on the main roster, she was in Elimination Chamber, and now she's on Backlash in a championship match.
Did she win the NXT belt from Becky?
Becky beat her for the NXT title.
Becky beat her for the belt. Okay. And who beat Becky?
Lyra Valkyria. Then Roxanne beat Lyra.
That's what.
And I will say this: if you watch that, I forgot which PLE it was for NXT, where it was Becky and Tiffany. Tiffany held her own with Becky. It was wildly impressive. You know, Tiffany Stratton, from what I've seen of her, especially in NXT in that match with Becky, she's got a little Jeff Hardy in her because she's a gymnast and can jump up of things and just flip really well. So she has all the tools to do any style of match, even the more hardcore ones.
Still a little green.
She's green. She's 25. Like, she's got a long time ahead of her.
And Kay, did you know she's dating Ludwig Kaiser?
I did. It's a choice. I don't want to be mean. It's a choice.
I respect that, Kay. I respect that.
It's a decision two consenting adults made.
Over rock, paper, scissors. Did you hear that story? All right, okay, I'm gonna tell you this story. Tiffany was on Chris Van Vliet. And he talked about, so you and Ludwig have finally gone public with your relationship. Those are big shoes to fill. I know, Dora. I forgot you are also a big Hardy fan. So okay, meet your twin, who's also a Hardy fan. So she was on Chris Van Vliet, and Chris Van Vliet brought up Ludwig, and she told the story of that. I guess in the PC at some point, they decided to play rock, paper, scissors, and the loser had to ask the other one out on the date. So Ludwig lost. He asked her out on a date.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
And now they're dating. Ludwig's also like 38, but so 35. Sorry.
Or, 34 or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's the story of how we're dating. I don't know how it's gonna work now.
What if Tiffy Time joins Imperium?
Honestly. Yes. It's a giggle.
That would be too much.
No, her character wouldn't fit Imperium because she'd be too much of a bitch.
I mean, as long as the character she just is gonna annoy Gunther to high heavens, to where Gunther is just going like this behind your back, going to smack her in the back of the head, but he doesn't.
Yeah, no, I think the next member of Imperium is going to be Ilya Dragunov, which we will talk about in a moment.
Yo, there's an idea.
He's been a part of Imperium before in the UK. So be it as it may. Before we get to that, we got to get to the main event where Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, who ironically have never had a match before ever in their entire careers in any promotion because they just missed each other, decided they were just going to have a killer match for the sake of it. And it was freaking amazing. Like, we all knew AJ Styles was pretty much the HBK of his generation. And there was probably no one better for Cody to go up against first than Styles. but I didn't know it was going to be that good of a match. Like, it was, I hate to say it was phenomenal, but it was a phenomenal match. Will, what'd you think of it?
Yeah, it was fun, right? Because this was just a giant house show that we all just got to enjoy with the crowd, right? It like I said last week, we all know who's gonna win, but I'm gonna watch it anyway. I don't care. I'm gonna get good wrestling and a crazy crowd. I'm gonna be entertained.
And that's what we were.
That's exactly what we were. And it was a solid match. You know, AJ Styles doesn't have a bad match with anybody.
No, not even James Ellsworth. No.
Yeah.
For real
though.
Like, I believed James Ellsworth was going to beat Styles at one point in that match. When he hit that super kick, I was like, no way. No way.
Yeah, there's not a chance.
I fucking forgot about that match until
oh my
right
God,
now.
Kayfabe, what'd you think of Cody and Styles? Entrances aside, because we know the entrances were amazing.
Hold on, I just dipped my fucking finger in buttermilk ranch.
Get a napkin. There it is.
I haven't eaten yet.
No, I'm like cleaning up my little box. I finally finished my chicken. I'm like cleaning it all up, and then bam, there's the ranch. Alrighty. All right, the ranch is gone, and I really enjoyed Cody and AJ. I knew it was going to be a solid match because look who it was, and I wasn't disappointed. And the crowd was really fun. Like, I know we keep talking about it, but I feel like that made the match a lot more exciting for me.
I felt like I was at a soccer stadium.
I got it. For real, like my ADHD, like if the crowd's bored, I'm bored. So like I kind of need the crowd to be having a full-on musical performance to stay engaged. And I was living. They were like wiggling at one point.
Really?
Like I don't know if they were like wiggling, but they were like dancing. Like it was fucking crazy. I loved it.
Honestly, I can't wait to see the juxtaposition between the French crowd and then the Berlin crowd. Because if it was,
yo, I'm so scared.
If it was what we saw,
Berlin's gonna be angry.
I don't want it. Like that crowd at WrestleMania,
like so
watching Luther. I'm not ready for
I've
that.
seen in a wrestling
Dude, they're gonna boo Dom Mysterio into hell. Like,
oh my God, it is a wild time. But Backlash, great. I'm gonna give it an 8 at this point. I wasn't expecting much, but I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it was a solid show. Solid show, predictable ending. Crowd was absolutely nuts. They're gonna come back. Before we move on from Backlash, we do have to mention one thing. So Triple H, during his press conference, was closing out, and Triple H asked Byron how much time we got left, and Byron's like 4 or 5 minutes, because they had to pretty much stop because the Kentucky Derby was starting, and they had to get the WrestleMania announcement in for the Kentucky Derby. So this one reporter decides to ask Triple H, hey, we heard that you guys released Drew Gulak.
I heard about this.
Yo, it was fucking crazy.
He goes, Fightful and PW Insider report about you guys released Drew Gulak. Can you talk about that? And can you tell us if it's in relation to what Ronda Rousey said in her book about Drew Gulak inappropriately touching her? Triple H he got pissed off so quickly. I thought he was about to turn back into the game. Okay.
I am the fucking game. JR.
Whoops.
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. What was your question?
He then says, first off, if you're going to cite sources, make sure you cite credible ones. Okay. Yeah. And then
I walked in from outside as he was saying that, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, he pretty much said, make sure you cite credible sources. And he goes, number 2, Drew Gulak was not released. We just did not renew his contract. His contract ran out, and he was not released. And then he promptly walked off, and that's how the presser ended. So, Kayfabe, what are your thoughts on Triple H finally taking a pretty big shot at the dirt sheets?
I mean, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner, but like, it was just such an abrupt, weird ending to the the press conference, but that
And
was
they couldn't even extend it
anything.
because they had to cut from a Kentucky Derby.
Okay, that's like another thing I want to talk about. I did not enjoy the integration of the Kentucky Derby cutting into my precious time. Because now you're telling me I need to fucking go off of the WWE section of Peacock, go to regular Peacock, and watch the fucking Kentucky Derby, which, by the way,
great race.
I didn't know the Kentucky Derby. Like, apparently, a bar around the corner from us had a Kentucky Derby party, and I had no idea. And I'm like, this is a thing.
Yes, it is. It's sad, but it's a thing.
My parents won $400 on a Kentucky Derby.
What, this year?
Yeah. So what they did is they went to the bar because backstory.
Mm-hmm.
My parents don't go out like ever.
I believe that.
Like amongst the townsfolk, like ever, never. But they go out to like the local bar with our friend next door for the Kentucky Derby, and every year they just take home all the money. So this year everyone pulls names out of a hat for their bet, and there's a pool. My mom won first place. My dad won second place.
Oh my god!
Wow,
I love that.
You need to call your parents the next time the Derby's around and be like, "Who'd you guys pick?"
No kidding. So they just cleaned house and then left.
That's amazing. So according to Fred's here in our chat, number one, Ilya was never part of Imperium, which is also known as Ringkampf, back on the Indie. So thanks for that correction. And apparently the whole staff of Fightful went nuclear on the Twitter sphere. The other one.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, they're fucking.
What
pussy.
did they do?
I don't know. I don't care. After
anymore.
my one little back and forth with the head of Fightful, which was the most entertaining thing to me in the world.
Shona Sapp?
Me and SRS.
You got into a fight. Wait. You got into a fight with Shona
Me and
Sapp?
SRS got. I didn't fight.
You haven't gotten in a fight.
Seriously,
with
you haven't.
The guy
Yeah.
fights everybody.
No.
I will tell you the SRS story. Also,
The
funny.
He followed me back.
Oh wow, what a fool.
Because he's an ally.
He's not- Fun fact: if you don't follow me, hate crime.
So I'll tell you what it was. Besides the fact that the funniest thing about Trips going nuclear on Fightful and Friends was that Issa clipped the clip of Triple H saying that, and then she turned the camera on herself and she was dying laughing, which is the funniest thing in the world. So okay, I'll tell you my story with SRS. So I was live tweeting Raw or something like that, and people were talking about the boost for Dominic Mysterio, and how people probably from a style rubbing tweet, people were as Sean Ross Sapp in general was talking about how they pipe in the stuff or whatever, and there was a bunch of people retweeting him and saying, "I'm in the arena, no, they're not," just rebutting him. And so I retweeted a guy that retweeted him, and I was like, funny how I pretty much said, like, funny how these analyst savior are insiders and think they know everything when you just got rebuked by someone in the crowd or someone proving that they didn't pipe in the noise. So then he retweets our KOTR tweet and says like, no, they are. Like, no context whatsoever. No, they are. And then I responded in tow with the classic Scott Hall, ooh, like spooky fingers, Jeff.
Spooky fingers.
And then he decided to screenshot like our page and be like, look, I follow you. And I was like, okay, we follow a bunch of random people, including more credible sources than you. And
when the fuck
was
was
some months
this?
ago. Fretz was watching it.
How we never heard
I don't know,
of
because I
this?
didn't care for it.
Fair enough.
Well, we're not on Twitter.
That's also
That's
why.
why.
Also fair enough.
So he kept going back and forth, but like, you follow me, blah, 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 blah. And then, it got to the point where I thought about doing an open challenge on the show and inviting him on the show because he was that butthurt.
Oh, God.
You should have unfollowed him and like, no, I don't.
But that's essentially, he got butthurt over one thing and like started going ballistic, and I was like, relax, dude. And I just kept trolling because it was just too much fun for me. But that's the Sean Ross Sapp story. Fretz, I was spying via the War Chinner because he blocked me.
I think the only wrestling personality that blocked me was JD from NY.
Oh, fuck that guy.
That was That's the only one I made angry.
JD from New York, what'd you do to him?
Existed.
I don't know.
I think it's just because
did,
you existed.
But well, probably. I have a vagina, but like, also, I don't know. I definitely commented on tweets of his in the past. I don't remember what I said or anything, but I knew
it's because you existed, so he had to be mad about that or something. But that's Backlash, and that's my Sean Ross Sapp story. And just a lesson to everybody: stop using dirt sheets. It's going to get you in trouble. And Triple H is going to like it.
I mean, they are news.
Yeah.
Right? Are they credible news? No, I mean, but they are all journalists, right?
In the loose sense.
I will say, since I deleted Twitter, I like read the dirt sheets like almost never.
There's no reason for it.
Like,
I mean, they are a glorified blog, but they're still
like I'd say
they're technically news.
The main source of my wrestling news, honestly, if I haven't watched it myself, is like I watch Cultaholic.
Or go to YouTube.
That's like it.
You know.
Yeah, or TikTok. I have a lot of wrestling on my
The thing about dirt sheets for me is that dirt sheets ruin the allure, the genuine allure of wrestling. You're not supposed to know what's supposed to happen. You're not always supposed to know what's going on behind the curtain before it happens. You're gonna ruin your happiness with that. So that's why I don't look at like Marvel stuff, because I want to be surprised when the stuff comes out. I'll know who gets like hired or whatever, and different plans. Like we talked about how they're gonna reduce the amount of shows that are gonna come out per year, but like, don't ruin, like, I don't want to know the finish. I don't want to know what's happening. I want to be surprised. Wrestling is supposed to be about pure enjoyment. You're supposed to be able to suspend your disbelief. But if you already know what's going to happen, why the hell are you watching? Don't ruin your happiness.
Gambling.
I have a friend that looks up the Drag Race spoilers on Reddit because they film the seasons in advance. So the season that's starting in like 2 weeks, she's known the winner for like a year and a half.
That's nuts.
I know.
That is absolutely nuts. And I don't know how I couldn't do it to myself. I still like that jovial enjoyment.
It's fun for her.
I guess.
She'll be like, do you want to know who the winner of Drag Race All-Stars 9 is?
Oh, she's doing it to be annoying.
Yeah.
Yes. But like in a funny way, not in like a mean way.
So that was Backlash. Great stuff. In 3 weeks, we are going to get the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. Now, we wouldn't actually talk about the King and Queen of the Ring tournament until King and Queen of the Ring, which also, in that same instance, that same week, be prepared, it's going to be a long show, because Double or Nothing is also that weekend as well at the end of May.
Fuck.
So there's that. The reason I want to talk to you guys right now about the King and Queen of the Ring, because we are going to talk about the tournament and the bracket breakdown, is
because it's our namesake?
No, not even that. It is because if you look at that poster for King and Queen of the Ring, it should look really, really familiar to you, especially, Will, being a big moviegoer.
I know, I'm trying to figure it out.
Have you figured it out yet?
I'm coming.
Take a guess. What does it look like to you?
I don't know. It's some kind of Marvel movie, I think.
You are correct. Kayfabe.
And it looks like the Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four is not the MCU Fantastic Four, but that's not the poster that they totally ripped off.
It's giving me Thor
It's not
vibes.
Thor.
Captain
It is
America?
not Captain America.
Iron Man.
No,
2.
it's not Iron Man. Jesus Christ, no, it's not Iron Man 2. Are you guys giving up?
Yeah,
You're gonna fucking pull
It
it
is
up,
Black
and I'm gonna
Panther,
be so
Will.
mad.
Yeah,
If you Google the poster for your first Black Panther, it is a carbon copy.
I think they call it artistic freedom.
Barely. Barely. Go look it up, Will, right now. Go take a gander at the original Black Panther poster compared to the King and Queen of the Ring poster.
The first one?
Yes. Not...
Pig.
It's the same fucking poster. What do you mean? There's just no W behind them.
Nah, dude, the Black Panther one's
Wait,
a little
no,
darker.
It's a little dark because there's black people in it outside of Jade and Bianca.
No, I mean like the architecture. One of them, like WWE's is blue and gold. This one's blue and black.
Not. No, it's not at all.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
I don't know how they got away with it.
I told you, creative freedom. Oh, they paid Marvel a lot of money.
I doubt they did that.
Nah. I feel like they would need like money.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Ching ching bling
knows?
bling to make that happen.
Yeah, it is pretty
Yeah,
close.
maybe Seth cut a deal with them since he's in Captain America's new movie.
I will say I'm very disappointed that Seth Rollins wasn't at the Met Gala.
They just did the Kentucky Derby. Let him live.
No, he would have served.
Yeah, but someone who's taking care of a child. Becky's on tour. Like, who can do that? But anyway, that was my one rant about the King and Queen of the Ring logo. That's clearly a Black Panther ripoff. Of all the places to do it for, it's Saudi Arabia. Like if they were going to Africa, which they have not done yet, I'd be like, okay, this kind of makes sense. I was like, this is kind of off, but whatever. I guess it's what they want to do. It's what they're gonna do, I guess. But moving to the actual King of the Ring tournament, we have the men's bracket that is fully revealed. The women's bracket has not been fully revealed yet as the time of this recording, because I'm not looking on anything on the internet just yet. But it is 16 competitors. Okay, 8 from Raw, 8 from SmackDown. This is a full, nice, healthy looking bracket for everybody.
Yeah,
it's a bracket. Right. It is a bracket. So Gunther beat Sheamus in the main event last night on Raw.
That was
Jey Uso, replacing an injured Drew McIntyre, beat Finn Balor, is advancing. Ilya Dragunov and Ricochet put on an NXT TakeOver style match. It might be one of the might be a TV match of the year candidate. If you did watch that, Kofi and Ilya Dragunov moved on, so it'll be Ilya and Jay. The next round, Gunther will face the winner of Kofi and Rey Mysterio, who are going to have their first round matchup on an upcoming live event over the weekend. On the SmackDown side of things, we have a rematch of WrestleMania 35. You know, the one that was blinding Kay's light. Kay's eyes with the light. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes. I'm so sorry, Baron Corbin. You come back and you're still losing.
They brought him back so he could lose this tournament.
LA Knight versus Santos Escobar, and Bobby Lashley versus Tama Tonga, not Tonga Loa, versus Tama Tonga in the bracket. So let's start with you, Mr. Tarashak. Who takes it for the Raw side? Who takes it for the SmackDown side? Early prediction.
Wait, is Drew kayfabe hurt or legit hurt?
Legit. I don't know. He was. I don't know. He was. I mean, they're dragging the CM Punk and Drew feud out, and they're both, I guess, kind of injured.
That's
whatever. So,
all right, we got Gunther. Definitely Gunther.
I want Dragunov to go long, but I don't know. Jay's too hot. Jay's too hot.
Yeah, and Gunther and Jay is a crazy match.
Yeah, it is. SmackDown, who you got?
On the SmackDown side, it's gotta be LA Knight it's gotta be LA Knight.
LA Knight all the way. LA Knight Gunther? I like that.
Yeah, you need a face and a massive heel.
I like that a lot. Okay, who you got for the men's Raw and SmackDown side?
Raw for sure is gonna be Gunther, like no doubt about it. I was thinking for SmackDown, I'm stuck between either LA Knight or Carmelo Hayes.
Oof.
Or you do Jay versus Tonga.
Ooh. I like that. A little.
I like that a little bit more.
Okay, but how is Gunther losing?
I think clean.
I feel like you need to have an upset, and Gunther losing would be a great upset.
Yeah.
You know, I can also see very easily Ilya versus Carmelo in the finals.
I can see Tama Tonga beating Bobby Lashley. I can see him beating LA Knight, and I can see him beating AJ Styles. I can see all of that happening.
Yeah, the SmackDown side intrigues me a lot more because I think Styles. I feel like we're at least getting Styles versus Carmelo Hayes in the second round, which take my money.
Absolutely.
You know,
it's like, Carmelo, how good can you really work? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, you know, I think we're at least going to get LA Knight versus Tama Tonga in that bottom part of the bracket too. So I haven't been this excited for the King of the Ring tournament in a while, just because they actually have a legit bracket. Like, this looks really good, and there's injuries. That's the crazy part.
Yeah,
there's injuries.
Yeah,
and it made it more interesting.
Yeah. I think they need to workshop the name though. King and Queen of the Ring. It's too
that's
wordy.
For the pay-per-view. This is still the King of the Ring tournament. They have the Queen of the Ring tournament.
I get that. King of the Ring tournament, Queen of the Tournament's great. I'm saying the pay-per-view name
I
needs
don't
it.
understand why they
do-
can't just call it Crown Jewel and then make King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring at Crown Jewel because there's a crown, king, queen.
Because that would make too much goddamn
Yeah, you're
sense,
hired,
Kay.
Kay.
I'm
You're
sorry
so
that
hired.
I'm
You are so
smart.
hired for this. Because that made all the sense in the world. Moving on to the Queen of the Ring tournament. The SmackDown side, to my knowledge, has not been revealed yet, so we're going to focus solely more on the Raw side of things with the results from Raw this week. We have Io Sky beating Natty, just turned Natty heel at this point. Lyra Valkyria beating Dakota Kai, who was replacing Asuka, who was legitimately injured and was unable to do anything. And Zoe Stark beat Ivy Nile in a pretty interesting match for both of them. So the next one is going to be Baszler versus Zelina Vega, which is also going to happen on a live event over the weekend. So on the Raw side, since we don't have any inclination of what's going to happen on the SmackDown side, Jade Cargill should be in this tournament. Who takes it on the Raw side? Kayfabe.
I think it might be Lyra Valkyria, actually.
I like that.
She's fresh, she's new, plus like even last night on Raw, like Becky like talked her up. Like they're clearly trying to drum up interest around her. So I feel like it makes sense for the next couple weeks make her look super strong on Raw because she's a very good wrestler. She was awesome on NXT UK.
Yeah.
I think this is a good opportunity for her. Like I don't think any of them need it. Like I don't see Shayna as Queen of the Ring. They're not going to make Zelina Vega a 2-time Queen of the Ring. I think I do know. And that's no shade on Zelina Vega. I think she's great. I just don't think they're going to let her win.
I do want to focus a little bit on what you said about Becky putting over Lyra Valkyria. Not only did she do that in a very weird segment for Raw where it was just Michael and Becky talking like it was like, like it was Sally, Jesse, Raphael back from the 90s. But...
Are they just trying to keep Becky out of the ring, but still keep her on TV?
Well, Becky was supposed to leave, but Rhea got injured, so...
That's what I'm saying. Like, she was supposed to go on break, but now she's the champion to keep ratings up, and if she wrestles, there's still, like, imagine she got fucking hurt, too, because it seems like Raw is cursed right now.
So, I mean... who knows what's going to happen. But Becky not only put over Lyra Valkyria, she also made a really, really awesome note to talk about Alba Fire, formerly known as Kaylee Ray, and pretty much solidifying and putting it on record on WWE TV that she is the longest reigning WWE Women's Champion of the modern era with her run with the Women's United Kingdom Championship. So that was really, really good to see with that. But Mr. Tarashak, who takes it for the women? Are you going with Lyra Valkyria or?
I think we gotta also understand that when you win this tournament, typically it's a character change, it's a gimmick change. Look what Xavier Woods did. Look what Zelina Vega did. Look what King Booker did.
Austin never changed character, which is like the only outlier.
But and the rest not so much, right? Like Triple H, not really. Kurt Angle, not really. And then the rest. However, who could use a character change here? I wouldn't mind seeing Io Sky as like a Queen of the Ring, and she becomes like an Empress.
Empress Io.
And like, and you have Dakota and Kairi Sane like being her minions.
Okay.
Right. I think Io needs a fresh coat of paint after dropping that title. And Lyra is it's not a bad pick, but however, you are trying to introduce her to a new crowd. So why would you give her a Queen of the Ring, potentially change your gimmick while you're still introducing her?
Even if she doesn't win Queen of the Ring, I think she's going to go for Raw.
That's fine.
So like the finals or whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine too. Yeah.
Depends on who SmackDown picks.
Yeah, I wish we knew what the SmackDown picks were. So I wish we really did so we can fully predict the women's bracket, but this is all we have for right now. Be it as it may, with the King and Queen of the Ring, we have no idea exactly what they get. WWE has never really solidified like winning anything for this or some other opportunity besides getting a freaking crown and a scepter. Should there be a definitive like guarantee of some sort of title fight or main event that goes along with winning King and or Queen of the Ring?
You get to retire Baron Corbin. I think it would make sense for a mid card. You know, you'll get an automatic shot at the US/WWE US/IC title, and then
What about the women?
If they, I was gonna say, if they had a women's mid card title,
which they're getting in NXT, just not on Raw or SmackDown just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think a world title shot makes sense too.
Main event spot, maybe, kayfabe.
Oh, maybe that makes sense.
You know, so it's something to think about, because like we have Money in the Bank has a solidified thing, Royal Rumble has a solidified thing, and I think for these things, like the tournament to actually mean something, you have to give them something to like fight for. Like for all intents and purposes, King of the Ring is just bragging rights. Historically, it has elevated people to bigger spots, but some of that's just by luck. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin was because someone else got injured. You know, like it's kind of just by luck. No, Stone Cold was because Triple H got it. Triple H got punished for the curtain call.
He got punished for the curtain call.
Punished for the curtain calls. Like some of this is just by luck. So I think it has. If you're gonna do a little bit more realism, which WWE is moving towards, obviously moving away from the PG era and becoming more adult themed in some of their storylines, you got to give them something to fight for. This just can't be for shits and gigs. Really can't. It's got to be for something. And a women's mid card would fix a lot of this, but we'll we'll see what happens on NXT with that, which they're really hyping up. It's a good point, Frats. Let's not forget Billy Gunn was a king. What did they do with him after? Absolutely,
Billy Gunn was a king of the ring.
I didn't know that.
He was a king of the ring.
I know Edge was.
Yeah.
William Regal was a king of the
ring. Yes, he was.
He beat CM Punk in the finals.
So, like I said, it's got to mean something, because right now it's just for shits and gigs. At least Edge won the IC title in the late 2001 after his. It's true. And then they like scrap King and Queen of the Ring for a really, really long time. So, leave it as it may. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have this week, folks. A pretty quick show this week, but a fun show nonetheless. Don't forget, folks, we are here each and every Tuesday night on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at KOTR_podcast, and also simulcasting on WrestleAddict Radio's Twitter page, as well as our Twitch page. So any final thoughts before we get out of here? Will Tarashak? Or kayfabe?
No, man.
Will, go.
No, this was a good show. It's wrestling is popping. It is so crazy. Like I even started watching ECW again. That's how much I like wrestling.
Are you finally out of like 97?
1996?
No, I'm in May 97. I'm about to finish May 97 for ECW, and it's been rough. I stopped watching wrestling on Peacock like a long time ago. So I'm bummed. But wrestling's been so good, I'm starting to get back into it.
Yeah.
I gotta finish Naruto. I gotta finish so much bullshit on TV.
Naruto.
Yeah.
Shippuden.
I know what Naruto is. I didn't know you liked the anime, Will.
It depends on the anime.
Go.
It depends on the anime. I loved Death Note. I love Naruto. I watched some of the original Dragon Ball from the 80s, which was bonkers. And God, there's one more. I can't remember the name.
Chainsaw Man.
Oh, I watched Neon Genesis recently. Which, wow.
If you want to watch a show for a long time, watch One Piece. That'll take you a while.
I know. It's like 3,000 episodes. It's not even fair.
It's gonna take you a while.
I didn't like Cowboy Bebop though.
Cowboy Bebop's okay.
I don't like One Punch Man.
Fair enough.
Anything else?
Oh no.
That's about it.
You're about to be a member of Anime Con when it comes around next year.
Yeah, I fuck with anime. I heard they may be making a Kingdom Hearts movie, which is a mistake.
Are they really?
Yeah, that plot makes no sense. Like none of that story makes any sense.
Who knows?
Because video games now popular again to be made into movies or TV.
Oh yeah, Liv and I went to go see the Phantom Menace the other night, and that's how I found out that they're making Borderlands in the movie.
Yes, they are.
Interesting.
And what's wild is I didn't know it was Borderlands for like half the trailer. I thought it was the Mad Max trailer.
that's not a bad assumption, to be honest.
I mean, with the success of with Fallout on Amazon, who knows? But
yeah. Well, because there's a Mad Max movie coming out soon too, so I'm like, is this the Mad Max?
Chris Hemsworth and Anna Taylor-Joy. It's coming out soon. But K-Pip, any final thoughts before we get back on the post show road? I guess.
No. I took an edible about 20 minutes ago.
You're almost good and done.
But I had, that fucking Popeyes box saved my ass and probably gave me 30 more minutes than I normally would have. I'm like satiated. That was delicious. This is the most sober I've ended the show in a while.
That is true. That is
true.
So
I guess a 5-piece chicken tender is the standard
with
for
some buttermilk
podcasting.
ranch.
Oh yeah,
folks.
It's not in my hand.
All right, with that being said, Will Tarashok, get us out of here. Should end it with BBL jersey.
I agree.
Next time. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to episode 375 of Kings of the Rings podcast, Simplement, Deux, and simply speaking, it was a really easy and fun show. Who knows what Kenny Omega is going to talk about on AEW? Who might care? Who knows? Maybe he's coming back. Maybe he's not. Maybe he saved a bunch of money in his car insurance by switching to Geico. It's a whole realm of possibilities with that announcement. Backlash is over. The French have actually won something significant in the world of wrestling fans for a very, very long time. And now it's on to Saudi Arabia and King and Queen of the Ring. And I am your king of the show. You can call me King Ricky Rose. You can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets. BIGZ Ambassador Biggs. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media outlets. Like, share, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review if you ever so please do. You can find all of that. The links are in our description below. If you're listening to us, make sure you're listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at addict_wrestle on Twitter and at Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else. Again, the links to all of that are in the description below. Will Tarashok.
Well, Ricky, we know for sure what Kenny Omega's not announcing, and that's a TV deal. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Tarashuk. T as in Thomas, ARASHUK. No plugs for me this week. I just ate dinner, so I'm a happy boy. And we're gonna go straight to the post show, isn't that right, Kay Murphy? How long are you gonna be with us?
I probably realistically have about 15 minutes.
I only plan on going like 15 minutes on the post show anyways.
Perfect. Me too.
Incredible. I love that for me. An outro. Yeah, that's what we're doing here.
It's hitting. It's hitting. You better hurry up.
It's over. All right. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at K_Fabe. I forgot my socials. That's how that's going.
It's in your name right here.
I'm gonna be real. My head is just BBL jersey. There's nothing else here.
That's right, folks. Oh my God. So yes, let's get out of here before Kayfabe starts losing even more. Maybe before we know it, Kayfabe's going to do their own diss track to Drake, because it's really popular right now because Drake is buried. Talk about a golden shovel. So when we come back next week, folks, the King and Queen of the Ring tournament are going to advance. We're going to have a clear review of what AEW is doing. We probably won't have a clear review of what AEW is doing, but that's the lie that I'm going to tell you right now. And so until next week, folks, goodbye, good night, au revoir, and Sacre Blue Slack. Fuck you, Slack. See you, folks.
And Kay, I give you full permission to do a diss track on me.
This has been a Wrestle Addict Radio branded podcast.